Did we find a drive shaft? Did we get the welder fixed? Apparently we found both. We're going to go over and show you the pile of drive shafts we have, and there's probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 of them in there. Anyway, we did find a drive shaft. We'll show you that here in a minute. You will see in today's video that Tommy's going to be messing with the brakes and also the panhard bar. He likes to call it a track bar. The factory calls it a panhard bar, and you know what? It's the same stupid thing. We'll call it a track hard bar.
Whoa.
Wow, there you go, track hard. Anyway, hey, we really appreciate you guys coming by, spending time with us. Had some questions about some things on the old giveaway truck. So let me address that real quick. And I've been avoiding this because I really didn't even know what to say about it. It's a weird situation with all this COVID garbage and the prices of gas so high. When the gentleman went to get a shipping estimate to ship it to the East Coast was $3,500, and he didn't have that amount of money. So we ended up buying the truck back from Bubba Gum. That's his face name, whatever you want to call it. That's his, what do they call that thing?
I guess they call it a handle.
Yeah, handle, whatever it is.
Truck driver.
Anyway, he didn't have the money to do that, and so he took the option of us buying the truck back from him. And so at this point in time, literally the truck is sitting there over there in the yard, and I'm not real sure what to do with it. Maybe you guys can give us some ideas. One of the, we bought it back from him. He got a stack of money for just having entered his name. And so on our next giveaway, we've decided we're going to change a few things. The most important thing I think about the new giveaway is that we're going to include shipping anywhere in the lower 48 states. We are going to personally deliver the car. And so if you're in Florida, we'll bring it to you, but we're going to videotape the whole thing. We're going to hopefully make a nice trip out and a trip back and make a couple of videos out of that and spend a little bit of time, a couple hours there, and show you the intricacies of whatever we've built and videotape the winner. So if you're in Maine, we got you covered. If you're in Alaska, we'll ship it to the port in Los Angeles and you get to haul it over. If you are in Australia, same thing. We'll get it to a port for you.
Maybe we could put pontoons on it.
We could put pontoons and we could just float it over to you. Maybe big sail up over the top. So bottom line is we're going to get you covered a little bit better. We appreciate you guys bearing with us on this, but we understand that it's very, very expensive to ship that thing over there. So like I said, we bought the truck back. It's sitting over here. We got a few little things to finish it up. We are going to do a burnout video with it. Give us some ideas of what you think we should do with the truck. Should we do another giveaway? Should we sell the stupid thing? Should we wreck it and light it on fire? And that would be a great video right there. There's all kinds of things we could do. But anyway, that's the situation with the truck. Next time, we really hope that whoever wins the new giveaway is right here in Phoenix, so that our shipping costs are really, really low. But anyway, we want to get you guys taken care of and get you guys covered, so we'll ship it anywhere in the lower 48 for you. And we'll just include that in there because we're just such nice guys. Anyway, so that covers that. Hopefully you guys understand what's going on there. And I just found we have a pair of safety glasses stuck over underneath there on the fender of that truck. Nice. So we need to grab that when we're done.
How does that even happen?
Yeah. So Tommy's going to be working with track hard bars today. We're going to finish up the brakes on the back of Brandon's truck. And we did find a drive shaft. We'll show you that here in just a minute. We're getting our U-joints taken care of. And before we blow this girl apart to get all of our painting done and then put it back together, we've decided we're going to go for a ride in it. And now it won't have the front clip on it. It will have what we have here. We'll have the bed on it. And we'll be sitting on a bucket. But we want to go for a ride, make sure that everything's shifting properly, make sure that we don't have some weird harmonic vibration. We want to make sure that gears sound good, that the rear gears sound good, that we don't have a whining, a biting, a hitting, a kicking, or some squealing that we don't know about. So we'll go out, we'll drive around 3 or 4 miles at least, and then we'll come back. If everything's okay, we'll blow it apart at that point. We'll get some painting done, and then we're going to get ready to bring it down to have the exhaust done. Normally we do our own exhaust, but Brandon is, he's a hotsy-totsy guy, and he wants a really nice exhaust system, and we do okay, but we don't do fancy exhaust. So we'll get them to use their benders and get everything bent up through there, and it'll be a real nice job for them. So we appreciate you guys coming by and checking out the work we're doing. Make sure that you share the link, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell notification, and you know, give us a like. We appreciate the time, and let's check out what we got for you now. All right, here we have our illustrious drive shaft pile. We got stuff stacked up over across this pile of bricks. We have a couple laying around. I thought there was 30 or 40, maybe there's 25 or 30. Anyway, we seem to always find what we're wanting, and a lot of times we'll cut a drive shaft down and we will weld it up ourselves. So these things are worth gold, you know. When you figure if you go buy a used drive shaft, each one's about $50 to $100. There's a lot of money sitting here, and so we just need to get them a little more organized. The whole backyard needs to be organized, and we're going to work on that. So anyway, we did find a drive shaft. Come check out what we got. All right, this is the drive shaft we're going to be using. We're going to put new U-joints in it. We'll get it all cleaned up and painted. And we're going to use a different slip yoke, because that's actually a slip yoke for a Ford. So I'm sure that this came out of a Ford, but it doesn't matter. A lot of U-joints interchange. And this will clean up nicely. It's already been balanced, so we'll get it taken care of. Cleaned up, new U-joints, new slip yoke, and we will get her installed. We're going to take this girl for a ride.
Good morning, everybody. Hot Rod Garage here, and today we are setting up a track bar, or also known as a panhard bar, or whatever you want to call it. What it does is it keeps the rear end centered on the frame. So as you can see, we already have a bar in there. That bracket is it's a factory one off of an old rear end that we had, and before it went to scrap. To make those is it's not difficult, it's just time consuming and kind of clunky. So I went ahead and used the plasma cutter and cut it off the rear end, so we had that bracket. It's cleaned up and everything else, it's ready to tack. But if you look, see that? So like, I don't know, not quite half a degree, something like that. It's pretty much level. So this is what you ideally what you want. We're going to use wrenches today to simulate a rear end. So let's say this is your rear end, right? And your tires are here, this is your rear end. If you put a track bar on that rear end, you don't want it like that. You don't want it like that. You want it as level or as parallel to that rear end as possible. That's because as the rear end articulates, if it's down, right, when it levels out, it actually shoves the rear end over one way. And if you were like this, it would pull it over, you know, it would pull the rear end over as the rear end articulates. I don't foresee Brandon doing Can-Am racing or something like this with this truck, nor is he going to do off-roading, so we don't really have to worry about a lot of suspension travel. We do have to facilitate 4 or 5 inches worth of travel, you know, all the way through. And granted, it's lowered, so it's not like your rear end's going to go all that far anyway. But we need to make it level, and what that's going to require is the bar here, this guy here. We're going to have to do a pie cut on the top, and then on the bottom, so the bar is going to end up going from the frame and coming up and then across. That way, for the most part, that bar will stay true or level to the rear end, parallel, I guess you could say. So now that all that stuff is jigged up, I'm going to be a little conservative on my pie cuts because it doesn't really need a lot, but let me show you where it's at. So the rear end's at 0, pretty much at 0, and this guy is at like 3 degrees. Hang on, I'm going to go ahead and get the bar back out, and I'll give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, and then we'll go ahead and pie cut and we'll weld it up. So hang on. Okay guys, so I know where my mark is. What I'm going to do, it's a bummer to go through all this work for 3 degrees, but you know. Alright, hang on. I'm going to mark this real quick. Okay. So there's my mark. I'm going to go ahead and cut it almost all the way through. Not quite though. And then I'll do the other one over here, but on the opposite side. Here's my cut. So there's the source of my cut. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a relief on the side. And from here, it's going to intersect where this would, where that would. Okay, so there's our relief. Now, nice straight bend. So now it's bent. And then we'll finish weld it and we'll grind it. We'll set it back in there. And hopefully we did pretty good eyeballing. That down, see what it looks like. Okay, guys. Well, you saw us. You saw we were making the panhard, or the track bar, I guess you could say. Anyway, it came out pretty close. Look at this. Rear ends at 0.00. I don't quite believe that, but it's pretty close. And now this guy right here. So when I tuck that, when I bring that up just a little bit, I'll probably bring that up and tack it to where that say is, you know, 0 or close to that, but just that little bit. And we got clearance here now, so I know that the rear end's a ½ inch too far on the driver's side. So that means, and always remember when you're doing run out on your axles, always take that full measurement you have and cut that in half. I've made that mistake numerous times, but anyway, so that's kind of the trick to that. So anyway, this is the plate we're going to weld on. Like I said, I'll probably just bring this up to where it's, bring it down a little bit like that, something like that. That's pretty close. And we'll go ahead and tack it, and then I'll tack it on the inside here, and then we'll weld it on solid, and it'll be a cool thing, because then we can do whatever cleanup we need to do. Then we can bleed the brakes, get the rear end set up, get the brakes on it. We already have steering, and make a driveline or get a driveline made for it or something like that. And just take it down the driveway, make sure it upshifts good, stuff like that. Anyway, but we can't do any of that until we have the rear end solidified. So, hang on. All right, so I'll show you here in a couple minutes with your guys' help what it was achieved today. We have the bracket on the rear end, all that. It's all nice and squared. So now I'm going to start hanging Brandon's rear brakes. Now we've already dry fitted them before, so this should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward. First off, I have my rotor on. Next is you have to put the saddle on, and then I go from there. Oh, they're so cute. The little tiny brake shoes with pads right there. Okay. There's that. I misspoke. Let's go ahead and put both these saddles on. So these are the saddles that they come with. And it's kind of like a front brakes for like a Toyota or some kind of import. The rotor has to be on first and then the saddle. So, okay, so it's been a while. So I want to make sure that my bracketry is tight first. And then I'll hang a saddle on there just for general purposes. Alright, so I want to show you here. So this housing actually goes through here, and then this actually locks onto here. So first off, you need to extract this little retaining little E-clip. That. So we're going to go through here. And some kits have a spring in here. Just kind of depends on what you have.
Alright, so on the back of Brandon's truck, we have some great big disc brakes, new calipers, pads, new everything. This rear end is a 10-bolt posi. It's been completely built, 0 miles. And these brakes, 0 miles here also. So we're getting it all hooked up so that we can actually make this thing stop. Let's show you what we're doing. Check it out.
Okay. Alright guys, so I'll go ahead and take this off real quick and show you what's going on. So this brake system is like something you'd see like on a Toyota or Honda or something like that. It's relatively pretty simple. So here's your saddle. The rotor has to be on first. I usually put the lug nut on there, that way it just holds the rotor on. And then go ahead and put your saddle on, tighten it up, then put your pads in there. These springs, when you cinch that caliper down, these springs actually bend like that, so it actually holds them in there. And it's not like they would actually go anywhere, but it's kind of an anti-rattle kind of thing. So anyway, the way you could do these, Mercedes, they're all the same. Anything with a slide like that, they're all the same. As you squish it down, it actually compresses those springs. And then you just kind of squeeze the rotor or squeeze the caliper assembly like that. And there it is. You don't always have to do a double wrench. This guy obviously wants a double wrench, so that's fine too. So that's pretty much the caliper in a nutshell. I've already got the other side completed. We'll get this guy locked down. And like I said before, all this stuff has been dry fitted, so theoretically it should all go back in the same spot and with no troubles. Hopefully. Let's give this one last little squeezy. Okay. We're all established there. So let's go get a flex line. Also, when I dry fitted this, I didn't use the crush washers because you just want to save them until you're ready for them. So let's go and get those. We need to do our hard line, or our flex hose there, and a hard line and all that. So hang on real quick. Let's go and gather some stuff. All right. So next, this is our flex line. If you notice, there's a relief in here. That is for the head of the bolt. Crush washers typically go like this, one on either side of the banjo fitting, like that. Anyway, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this guy started in here. There's that. So now I'm going to tighten up the flex line on the rear end housing, and then grab my hard line and bring it over here and start putting that together. You see this thing? This is a clip, or the flex hose. Don't lose these, and if you ever take something apart, look for these and keep them. They're an item that you can't readily buy, and they're worth their weight in gold. We're gonna go ahead and get this. I'm going to get this guy started here. So these are tabs we had to weld on. This kit actually, some kits come with like a clamp or a band or something like that. I mean, you could do that, but you know, we already had the rear end out of this thing, so why not just weld them on, you know? And I think you guys have seen footage of that before. So let's go ahead and get this started here. All right. Wow, it looks like it was made for it. Okay. We'll go ahead and tighten this guy down. Okay. Let's go ahead and tighten this side here down here. So, there's all that. So now, I'm going to take this guy, and I don't like the way that fits, sir. Okay, so our flex hose is tight at the housing. Our hard line is tight over here. We're tight here. This is in the slot. So now this guy, this is actually coming out to be a 10 millimeter here. Yeah. Okay. So our bleeder, I believe, is a 7/16. Let's go ahead and thread this in here and make sure everybody feels good. Okay, so there's tight, and that's good. Nothing's dragging. Yeah, off to a good start.
Gosh dang it, give us a break. Well, that's not what we're talking about. We might do a little break dancing for you. Check it out, we're messing with the brakes on Brandon's pickup truck. Here we go. All right, you saw a little bit of work on that right there. That's the back brakes. Here are the front brakes. Nice, ginormous, as we know from before. And we have our brand new master cylinder power brake booster and proportioning valve. We're gonna get this thing juiced up, and we're gonna bleed the brakes for you. It's a very simple process, so you don't go make a fountain out of it. So basically we'll just lightly push on the pedal. We'll get a little bit of fluid down in there until we get it to the point where we're going to do the actual bleeding. You can see the tiny bubbles. 1. 2 bubbles. All right, who is it? If you can identify it, I'll send you a sticker free. First person to identify who I was mimicking. So when bleeding brakes, we put a line on here just so it drains down into a bucket and it doesn't puke fluid all over the place. On these particular brakes, they actually have 2 bleeders. We're going to do the bottom one first, then the second, the top one. And all you're going to do is he pumps it up and holds it down, and I'm going to pop it open. It opens up a valve and allows the fluid to drain through and eliminate the air. So you'll hear us say all this stuff, and that's telling us when to open and close. Tell me when you're ready, Tommy. Ooh, I don't know if you could hear that, but it went air going. All right, go. All right, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. All right, it's closed. And we're switching to the top one. We got fluid coming through. All right, she's open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, closed. We got fluid. All right, if you ever want to remove paint off from a vehicle, all you have to do, dump brake fluid on it. It'll strip everything. That's one of the problems with painting stuff around a master cylinder. As soon as you get a little fluid on it, the paint's gonna come off. Anyway, hey, a track hard bar. We got a track hard bar taken care of. We got a bunch done on this girl. We have our U-joints ordered so that we can get a drive shaft put inside this. And we're gonna go for a ride here pretty quick. Hey, I want to remind you about our merchandise store. Merch, as the cool guys call it. It's www.theoddrodgarage.com. And so far we've had good feedback from the people that have received their shirts. It's a nice quality t-shirt. Thanks for coming by and seeing what we're doing. Brandon's truck is really close. We'll do it next week. We want to send out a special thanks for watching these videos. We got Eli, Isaac, and Grammy, 3 of our obviously most famous and most loyal viewers. Anyway, we appreciate you guys coming by and checking it out. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Hey, send out the link and share it with somebody. And give us a comment, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate you guys coming by. Like I said before, we love doing this stuff. We hope you guys enjoy it too. We got a whole bunch of exciting stuff coming up. New giveaway car. We will ship it right to your front door. That's going to be awesome. Anyway, we appreciate you guys coming by, and as always, thanks for watching.